Which means there's no way Hajime, who never saw the movie, could commit murders that imitated it. Or did anyone tell him what happens in the movie? Of course no.
Hold on a sec! You're the one who brought this up in the first place!
To dispel any accusation.
Nagito, what are you doing? Well, since we're opening with your witness testimony, I thought we should solidify the foundation.
That actually makes sense.
It also provides a good warm-up.
To what?
What warm-up? This isn't a game, you know.
Well, technically it is.
Don't get mad. I just think warming up is really important. Especially since this isn't a game.
What a waste of time. Well, I knew it would turn out like this anyway.
Now then, since we know Hajime's testimony is reliable, let us move on to the arguments.
So this means Ibuki definitely climbed the stepladder all by herself, right?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Then that seals it! Ibuki committed suicide!
No.
If Ibuki committed suicide, then who killed Hiyoko?
A murder coincidentally occurring in the same place as a suicide. Ain't possible, huh?
Like I said before, it's pretty clear what the problem with this case is. The killer murdered Hiyoko while Hajime was gone. So all we gotta do is establish who could have possibly done that.
Then let's ask Hajime. How long would you say you were away from the music venue?
About 10
I
minutes.
couldn't have been gone for more than 10 minutes.
So they killed Hiyoko and taped her up within 10 minutes? There's no way that's possible.
That's why the killer stalled for time by making the music venue a closed room.
What do you mean, a closed room?
The killer blocked the venue door from the inside to try and keep us from entering right away.
But how would they have gotten out?
However, that door is the only entrance to the music venue, right? If they blocked the door from the inside, the killer would not have been able to leave either.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Which means, when we broke down the venue door, the killer was still inside.
No.
They were?
If that's the case, the only suspicious people are those who don't have an alibi for that time. And that's you two! Sonia and Kazuichi!
Me too?
What the hell? Why's it gotta be us?
The others all have alibis. Chiaki, Mikan, Hajime, and I all broke down the venue door together. Gundam met up with Hajime at the motel right before that. And if Akane and Nagito were laid up in the hospital, the only person that leaves is one of you.
There's another person who doesn't have an alibi. You know, Nekomaru.
But he was pretty badly injured.
Me too!
Hey! Why are you talking like... Huh? You're kidding, right?
Please stop making bad jokes.
Anyway, if the killer was hiding inside the venue, we should obviously doubt the people who don't have alibis.
What a wicked way of backing us into a wall! Is this his professional skill?
The killer was inside the music venue. Hiko obviously thinks so, but is that really it?
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting in.
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front of the door.
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
You can use that as a bolt to lock the door. By doing that, the killer who was hiding inside waited till we gathered together and suddenly appeared.
So they look like they had just rushed over.
I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside, they tried to keep us from getting...
It seems they were trying to stall for time.
How did they lock the door? That door should not have had a lock.
The lock was on the floor in front of the...
Are you talking about the broken drumstick?
You can use that as a bolt to lock the door. By doing that, the killer who was hiding it waited till we gathered together and suddenly appeared.
So they look like they had...
I have seen this in serial crime dramas.
The killer was still inside the music venue. By locking the door from the inside.
No, that's wrong.
Okay.
Hold on a sec. There's also a possibility that the door was locked from the outside.
From the outside? How?
There was a semi-transparent glob stuck to the venue door. Maybe that's what they used.
Semi-transparent glob. Like rubber, maybe?
I see! That semi-transparent glob must have been glue.
Glue?
Yeah, I think so too. It had a firm, gel-like chewiness, and I could smell workshop chemicals the moment I put it in my mouth. Based on all that, I'm certain it was glue.
I didn't know glue was edible.
I wouldn't eat it.
I believe it is not something one typically eats.
That glue was only applied to the areas where both doors touched. By pouring it in the gaps of the closed door, they must have sealed the venue door from the outside.
And thanks to that, a glob of glue was left where the door was stuck. Yep, it fits perfectly.
But if you just stick them together with glue...
That doesn't really matter. The killer only did that to make us think the door was locked from the inside.
Makes sense.
What'd you say?
First of all, didn't that drumstick we found seem really obvious? Almost unnaturally so? It was so obvious that it makes more sense to think the killer placed it as a diversion.
Yeah.
Are you saying the drumstick was a trap the killer set on purpose? Then I totally fell for that fucking trap.
Apologize to Miss Sonia and me. However, you're not allowed to slice open your stomach this time.
Aw.
In a quarrel, both sides are to blame. That's why it's better to just have no sides at all.
But then there'd be no point.
So, during the 10 minutes Hajime left the venue, the killer murdered Hiyoko and created a closed space?
And they also taped her up after killing her, right?
It seems kind of impossible.
Even quick work has limits.
Oh, what unimaginable speed for a slowpoke like me.
If they couldn't have done it while Hajime was away from them, they must have done it earlier than that.
But when Hajime got to the venue, only Ibuki's body was there, right?
And when you went back with everyone else, Hiyoko's body was there too, right? But it's possible that the body was just revealed at that time, when Hiyoko was actually killed earlier.
Just revealed?
Of course, the body wasn't revealed on its own. The killer did that too. Here, I have proof.
That scrap of paper.
That's right. Just what is this scrap anyway?
It's scrap. I know what it is. It's just a ticket. damn it. There we go.
I got it! Scrap. Isn't it part of the wallpaper in the storage room?
Yep.
In the music venue storage room, there should have been black wallpaper that's the same color as that scrap. There was also a tear along the edge of the wallpaper, wasn't there? If so, you're right. If you overlay the scrap that was caught on the lighting with a tear in the wallpaper, see? It fits perfectly.
I see. So the scrap that was caught on the baton lighting was originally part of the wallpaper.
And what's wrong with that? Does it have something to do with Hiyoko's body disappearing?
A mere nobody like me isn't important enough to answer that. But if you guys were exceptional enough to identify that scrap of paper, you can figure this out easily.
Oops. That was stupid. Oh, come on. It's dumb. Okay. Oops. Shouldn't have hesitated. Doesn't help that I'm kind of new to this, but yeah. Woo! Did I go fast? Question 2. Come on. Oh my god, that's narrow. This is fun. Question 3. Makes sense. They hid the body by covering it.
It's all coming together! Got it! Hyoko's body was hidden before we found it.
But it would have taken quite a long time to tape up a hidden body.
No, the body was already taped up and the killer hid it, along with the pillar using the wallpaper.
What? They hid the pillar?
Yeah, by wrapping the wallpaper around the pillar, the killer was able to create a slightly larger pillar. So when I first discovered Ibuki's body, Hyoko's body was already there. However, because it was concealed within a slightly larger pillar, I didn't realize that at the time.
Makes sense.
Well, that's understandable. I mean, it makes sense that you'd know.
So they used the baton lighting on the ceiling to hang the wallpaper?
The baton lighting forms a perfect circle around the pillar. So using it to hang the wallpaper totally fit.
Then, the reason the wallpaper was covered in so many stickers was to make it look like that pillar.
That's how they hid Hyoko's body, and then peeled off the wallpaper as soon as I left the music venue.
But the killer made a mistake. They accidentally ripped off a piece of the wallpaper. And because of that, a scrap was left on the baton lighting.
Killer must have been in a hurry. Their plan took too long.
But going to the trouble of hiding the body and the pillar is very bold and risky.
The crime itself would be much easier to pull off since they don't have much to do while Hajime's gone. They just have to peel off that wallpaper and stash it in the storage room. It's not that big of a deal.
Then, when was Hyoko actually killed?
Good point. And on that note, it's about time we shed some light on those imitation murders.
You mentioned imitation murder more than once. But what is that?
Are you kidding me? You haven't seen my masterpiece? The Wizard of Monami 2.5D?
Hey, don't put my likeness in your movies without my permission.
You're pretty noisy for someone who eats mothballs.
I don't eat mothballs. I just enjoy looking at them.
Okay.
I knew it! There are so many similarities. It must have been intentional.
Ibuki's death by hanging matches the Scarecrow's death from the movie.
Yeah.
Not just that, but Hyoko getting taped up after her death matches the lion's death.
It's as if both crimes were replicas of scenes from the movie, although the mutilated Tin Man was omitted.
But why did the killer go to all this trouble in the...
Based on what we know, the reason the killer chose these imitations isn't that... I see!
Mix up the killing order.
The reason the killer imitated two of the murders from the movie was so he'd mix up the killing order.
Then, Hyoko was actually killed before Ibuki?
A valid line of reasoning.
Yeah, it's valid. The condition of Ibuki's body suggests that as well.
What do you mean? If you're going to cry and beg like that, then I guess I'll hear about the condition of Ibuki's body.
I'm not even crying.
You're crying on the inside, don't lie.
I'll let you sob as much as you want later. Just hurry up and tell me before I change my mind.
What a jerk!
Oh, I see. You want me to explain it to you, right? Because you don't understand what I'm saying, right?
An even bigger jerk? Impossible!
Look, Ibuki died because she hanged herself, right? That means when she was still alive, her feet were touching the floor.
What's wrong with that?
But it seems Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was killed. That would mean Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki.
How light. Your words are so light as the sylph's feather. Your opponent is out of your league. It is too absurd to try to perplex me so inadequately.
Man, he's being annoying again.
First and foremost, you claim Ibuki's feet were touching the floor when Hiyoko was killed. How can a low-class creature with no psychic abilities like you know something like that?
Because she was doing something that's only possible if her feet were on the floor.
It seems you suffer from a pathetic delusion.
You're one to talk.
Anyway, if this continues, we're going to talk in circles. I think it's best to clarify Ibuki's status when Hiyoko was killed.
When Hiyoko died, Ibuki's feet were on the floor.
I am telling you to present your evidence.
Did you see her walking?
If her feet were on the floor, was there any sign she stepped on something?
I agree with that.
Hello, Link. What's up?
Just as Sonia said, Ibuki stepped on something. That something was blood. There were faint blood stains on the soles of her slippers.
That is not Ibuki's blood, right?
Nope.
She suffered no external injuries.
Then it's Hiyoko's blood!
Nah, it's John Cena's.
Hyoko's only wound was a fatal slice on her neck. And she died almost instantly, right?
If Ibuki stepped on her blood...
Yes, you were. How are you doing, man? Or woman? I don't really know. Whatever you want to be.
It means Ibuki was still standing when Hiyoko was mortally wounded. Which means Ibuki was still alive at the exact moment Hiyoko was killed.
Don't underestimate the power of the evil eye! Is that it? A shepherd dressed in his Sunday's finest still reeks of lamb, Hajime Hinata.
You have to wonder, is Gundam's left eye blind? I mean, it's obviously damaged because of the scarring difference in color, but I'm wondering that.
Does that mean you have a rebuttal?
Does that mean you have a rebuttal? That's a good line.
Well, have fun with that, I guess.
But, are you sure you're sure? If I show you how serious I am, this world might be destroyed, you know. You're so frightened you can't even make a sound. It seems you've realized our difference in status.
No, I just realized you're insane.
However, the time for conviction starts now. You better entertain me to the fullest. You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet belonged to Hiyoko? Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no "you can't step on blood that was never there." Just about to see a nice nightmare. You're saying the blood on Ibuki's feet. Ha! Impossible! Try to remember the crime scene. There was no blood on the floor.
Allow me to cut through those words.
Contacts, but that's weird. Considering, like,
That's not it. The reason there was no blood on the floor is because the killer wiped it away afterward.
like Gundam's left eye, it's obviously scarred. It makes sense that it would be at least slightly blind because remember, Hiko gets his right eye slashed and it's damaged pretty badly to the point of being blinded. So that'd actually be funny. Two people who got scarred eyes and are partially blind. And different eyes too. That's like really manga-like.
Don't say such foolish things. You don't have proof of that at all.
Yes, I do. If you look closely, there's a streak on the floor where blood was wiped away.
When the killer tried to hide Hyoko's body, they probably cleaned the blood at the same time, but...
Thank you. I'm very good at theorizing. At least I believe that I'm very good at theorizing, but you know.
Ibuki must have already stepped in it, and the killer probably didn't even realize it.
The reason they wiped off the blood on the floor
Gundam's
was so we'd mix up the order of the murders, right?
Rather than like a sword or something concerned he's the ultimate breeder. I could make a sex joke there, but it's not that kind of breeder.
Even if they're able to hide Hyoko's body, it'd be bad if her blood was left out in the open.
Plus, Ibuki's body was left out in the open, and it wasn't bleeding from any open wounds at all.
Hyoko's body was probably wrapped in duct tape to stop her bleeding.
Actually, the bleeding will stop once the heart stops beating. So I don't think they had to go that far.
I bet he could hardly bear it. Plot twist, he was attacked by Monokuma as a kid. Wait, that wouldn't make sense. Monokuma was fairly recently created, but you get my joke.
Aside from Mikon, none of us were aware of that fact, so the killer probably did not know it either.
Maybe the heater was running inside the music venue so it would screw with Mikon's autopsy?
That's right! I didn't know the time of death because of the heater!
It's like they did that on purpose or something!
The time of death wasn't mentioned in the Monokuma file, just to keep concrete evidence from us.
10 out of 10 sarcasm. Please don't try again.
Yep. Since we have all this evidence, there's no one else who wants to object, right? Then it's decided. Hyoko was killed before Ibuki.
Why did she say the name so fast? Ibuki. Ibuki. Like, it's Ibuki. You don't have to say it so fast, Jackie.
It appears that it's wiser to retreat for now. Fine then. But regardless of good or evil, there's no deceit in upholding one's convictions.
Oh, just calm down already.
Can't you just shut up and back off?
Yeah, back off until
Now
it's your time to kill.
let us resume our debate.
Wait a sec. There's something I want to run by Monokuma first.
And at that moment, Nagito ran over to Monokuma and passed him. Because
Again? Didn't something like this happen last time, too?
No, you're just...
Hey, if the victim actually committed suicide, what are we supposed to do?
Well, considering the first game, it doesn't really matter. It's still considered murder.
The same as always. You have to vote for who the killer is. Think about it. A suicide means you've killed the most important existence of all, yourself.
Well, depending on who you ask, that's not very important.
Unfortunately, that means there's no Blacken to punish, but I guess in a pinch, I can always punish Monami.
Such a douchebag.
Why me?
Because you're... Yeah, that's a good point. But
Nagito,
still, it just sounds
what do
weird
you
to say
mean
Ibuki.
if the victim actually committed suicide?
It's like saying Sonia.
Well, I mean, I understand Hyoko's
It
dead,
doesn't really work
but
for
I'm
that.
wondering if Ibuki was really murdered. For example,
Like nobody
it's
else says
possible
it.
Ibuki killed Hyoko, and then committed suicide due to a guilty conscience, right?
No, that's not possible.
That's totally impossible! Then she never would have killed her to begin with!
She was afflicted by the despair disease, remember? That means anything can happen.
But all that did was make her gullible. Which basically means someone could have been like, hey, Ibuki, you should go commit suicide. And she'd be like, okay.
But if Ibuki's the killer, she wouldn't have been able to falsify the sequence of the murders, right?
That's a good point.
After Hajime saw the hanged body, the sudden appearance of Hyoko's body soon after means the killer had to be alive at that time.
And she was alive.
You're an idiot. You don't just hang yourself and then somehow, like, it's not that easy.
When Hajime first discovered Ibuki, she was just pretending to be dead.
While hanging, there's only so long they can survive self-asphyxiation.
If she waited until Hajime left, that's when she could have made her move and mess with the crime
Especially if
scene.
you break your neck.
She hanged herself. Remember? There's no fucking way she could have faked that.
Well...
And if she was going to fake her death, I think she wouldn't have chosen hanging.
Why would Mikan say pig? That's something Hiyoko would say. And only to Mikan.
Her body would have been defenseless in that state. If
Her body
anyone
has been
touched
discovered
her,
by
that
God.
alone would have ruined her plan.
I see. So that means...
You know, it's like, considering how that would work, she probably just hang herself anywhere and it'd be like,
There's no
I'm
doubt
gonna
that
hang
someone
myself right in
killed
front
those
of
two.
everyone. Obviously,
glad.
she didn't
Now
more
I'm
than
free
just
to
say
search for the
that.
killer.
I'm just, you know, paraphrasing it.
What the heck?
There's still one more issue on my mind. If Ibuki didn't commit suicide, just what was that video Hajime saw?
You could say it was staged. Yeah!
According to that video you saw, Ibuki was by herself when she climbed the stepladder, right?
You know, I just noticed something. In the video, you can't see Ibuki's long hair, but you can when she's hanging. Gee, it's almost like it's staged.
Then does that mean someone forced her to do it?
No.
Forced? Perhaps.
Nobody
They used
forced
hypnotism
her.
or something?
They didn't need to. She was gullible. She was as gullible as a fucking dodo bird.
I don't know anything about that.
Don't say it all proud.
She said don't say it all proud, but it sounded like she said don't say it out loud. What's that just mean?
Putting that aside, it seems obvious that the killer did something.
No.
So, maybe we should figure out who was able to do whatever that was.
Gee, I wonder who could do that. Her name rhymes with he can't.
So, an alibi. Then our plan is to destroy the weakest alibi.
My life.
Since Hajime has seen the video, it is clear what time the crime took place.
More or less.
But just to be sure, that surveillance camera doesn't have a record function, right?
Right.
It's a cheap-ass surveillance camera, you know? There's no way it'd have some kind of sweet recording feature.
Then, the video Hajime saw was actually right?
No. What time did Hajime see that video?
I saw it at the hospital, right before Monokuma's morning announcement.
So, roughly 6:50 or something?
And I saw the body at the music venue a little after Monokuma's announcement.
No. So, like, more like 6:58 or something.
So Ibuki hanged herself right before Monokuma's announcement.
No, Lenny Face. I will ban you from life. From life. I will ban you from life if you Lenny Face.
And since we established that Hiyoko was killed before Ibuki, that means the time that the murders occurred was before and during the announcement.
Then, we just have to find the person who doesn't have an alibi during that time?
Gee, I wonder who that would be. Again, her name rhymes with Hikan.
Now then, I shall issue my decree. Let Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi commence.
That is a terrible name. Actually, Nevermind is the worst name. Just get it because it's like they just were thinking, what should we make her last name be? I don't know. Well, never mind. Oh,
We
that's a
can
good
exclude
name.
the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I got bored.
We can exclude the sick people like me and Akane, right?
And what about the others?
Right before the morning announcement, I was totally sleeping in my motel room.
I think everyone at the motel was doing that.
So everyone who stayed at the motel doesn't have an alibi.
What about you guys?
I was where I was supposed to be, my own cottage.
That's not an alibi.
Aside from those afflicted by the disease, if nobody has an alibi, then...
No, that's wrong.
Hold on. Not all of us are missing an alibi. In fact, Mikan and I both have alibis.
About that.
You two have alibis?
Up until I saw that hanging video, Mikan and I were actually together for a while.
We even woke up together that morning.
Not too much information.
Hey, what kind of situation is that?
I told you it was crazy.
I accidentally fell asleep on top of Hachi.
Too much info.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like that. She just came to tell me Nagato's condition had improved.
And then she fell
And we
asleep on
went
me.
to the hospital together afterward. So we were together until right before the announcement.
I get it. You guys have alibis.
If that's the case, the killer must be someone else.
No.
It's better if we think about it like that. The killer decided to falsify the murder sequence to hide the actual time of the crime anyway.
So it's inevitable that an alibi for both before and during the morning announcement would be very...
It feels like Operation Destroy the Weakest Alibi.
But committing an imitation murder, faking the time the crime occurred by falsifying the murder sequence, hiding their alibi in the process, was that the only reason the killer made both bodies imitate the movie?
Are you saying there was another reason?
I feel really bad for confusing you guys so much.
No, you don't.
That's how I feel. I think the killer had a completely different reason for falsifying the murder sequence.
The killer had a different reason. If that's the case, are we still in the killer's trap? Is that a trap set by one of us? If so, then whose? What kind of trap is it? It's the kind of trap you trap yourself in. Trapoli. Trial suspended. That was quick.
Hiya!
Hello there, mommy. The moss balls sure look tasty today.
Stop it!
Don't characterize me as someone who lives on moss balls, especially since I don't need to eat. And here's some chance time. What? What's that? Now then, mommy's appeal time starts now. Huh? Appeal time? Kinda hard to... Kinda hard in my ass. It's gonna give you a chance to reclaim your honor. Good luck. Show those jerks who treat you like a red-headed stepchild who's boss. Wow, that's rude. That's 99% your fault. While you're whining, your time's already running out, so please make your appeal simple. About 30,000 words or so? That's too long. It'll just be a boring appeal. Come on, if your appeal's successful, there might be merchandise opportunities heading your way. Then Usumi. That's cool. Miracle Girl Usumi. I'm terrible at my job and can't do shit. Jeez, and I thought certain robots this was supposed to be the best.
What a disappointment!
Yeah, but as much a disappointment as you are on a good day. What are you talking about? I have no clue whatsoever. Oh boy.
I'm Monami. Once again, I've been put in such an unreasonable situation. Seriously, he's like the king of unreasonableness. Why did it turn out like this? We were supposed to have a fun, friendly school trip, but it turned out all bloody instead. No! This definitely cannot be allowed. That's why I want you to remember this. Everyone, do your very best. Don't lose to yourself. And don't forget to save frequently.
No.
Huh. It suddenly got quiet in here. Did I confuse you? If so, I wish I could die from self-loathing.
Man, this again.
If that's the case, it would have been just dandy if they had gone ahead and killed me too. If that happened, the imitation would have been perfect.
Well, it's against the rules to kill 3 people in the first place.
Right.
That rule is too harsh. I couldn't get killed because of that.
Seriously, just shut up already! Shut up forever!
But I'm thinking about it again, and he's totally right. It feels incomplete.
Because they didn't kill 3 people like the movie did? That's only because of Monokuma's rule.
It's not just that. Come on, try to remember the content of the movie. About the lion that got killed second.
That's the one Hiyoko's body was imitating, right?
Even though we're calling it an imitation, the lion was actually pinned by arrows, right?
Yeah.
But Hiyoko's body was suspended by common household duct tape. Maybe they just used a common substitute because it was too difficult to imitate the arrows. Well, that's probably it, but that attitude is what makes this feel incomplete. If falsifying the murder sequence was the killer's plan from the very beginning, they should have taken steps to properly imitate it.
But if we never realized it was a half-assed imitation, their entire plan would have been completely useless.
What are you trying to say? Are you saying the imitation wasn't planned?
I'm saying, Hiyoko's murder wasn't.
What?
I understand that imitation wasn't enough, but aren't you making a bunch of assumptions?
It's not just the poor imitation. There are also other strange details.
Strange details? Like what?
Like, for example, why did Hiyoko go to the music venue?
So, you're saying the truth behind Hiyoko's murder is hidden?
I have no freaking clue what you're trying to say!
According to Great Mickey, Red Eye is contact.
However, this is getting quite interesting. My four dark devas of destruction are getting riled up.
Why Hiyoko went to the music venue? That's the key to all of this. We need to find out that no matter the cost. Shame, I was actually blind and stuff, but it's just a tattoo on his right eye. It's just contact lens. Oh well.
Why did Hiyoko go to the music venue? There's no way he'd know that!
Maybe the killer summoned her.
If that's not it, maybe she got abducted by the killer.
No, maybe.
She went of her own free will.
I agree with that.
Great.
It's just as Sonia said. She went to the music venue of her own free will.
So, exactly as I assumed.
If no one called for her, then why did she go?
Because Sonia told her.
Hiyoko locked herself in her room because she was being overly cautious of the despair disease, you know? I don't think a person like that would leave their room just because someone called for them.
There's no way she got abducted?
Hiyoko locked the room she was staying in before she went out.
If she was forcibly taken from her room, there's no way she would have had time to lock it.
The killer could have locked her door, right? Just to hide the fact Hiyoko got abducted.
Then they couldn't have hidden her room key that deep in her kimono. They would have put it somewhere more obvious. Otherwise, there's no point in messing with the crime scene if nobody finds the key. At the time, you were the one who actually took out the key, right? Then something like that.
I won't move!
Good boy.
Are you saying my gut was wrong? This could be my first and last highlight of the day. Why won't you just let me shine already?
No! That's not the issue.
Shut up! Enough with your fancy talk! I'll shut you up right now!
Okay.
Hiyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted. The killer forced their way into Hiyoko's room. Forcibly abducted her! The girl is so small and weak-looking, and that's why the killer targeted her. Hiyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted. The killer forced their way into Hiyoko's room. Forcibly abducted her! The girl is so small and weak-looking, and that's why the killer targeted her.
Dang it.
I can't back down!
There we go. It was enough. Oh, come on,
Hiyoko was locked inside her room, right? She definitely got abducted or something. The killer forced their way into Hiyoko's room. Forcibly abducted her! The girl is so small and weak-looking. And that's why the killer targeted her. Hiyoko was locked inside her room. She definitely got abducted or something. The killer forced their way into Hiyoko's room. Forcibly abducted her! The girl is so small and weak-looking. And that's why the killer targeted her.
Okay, I only have so many touch.
But Hiyoko's room was locked. The key was deep inside her kimono, remember? It's more likely that Hiyoko locked the door herself.
The killer was the one who locked the door! So what if the key was in her kimono? Maybe the killer just put it there later!
I can't back down!
Oh, come on.
Hiyoko was locked inside her. She definitely got abducted or something. The killer forced their way into Hiyoko's room and forcibly abducted her. The girl is so small and weak-looking. And that's why the killer targeted her.
But Hiyoko's room was locked.
The key was deep in... It's more likely that the killer was the one who locked the door. So what if the key was in her kimono? Maybe the killer just put it there later.
I can't back down!
There we go.
There's no reason for the killer to put the key in Hiyoko's kimono. The killer probably didn't realize she even had the key.
Hold on! Try remembering her kimono! There's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She thought that that's the proof she was abducted, right? My gut is totally right after all!
Hang on.
Hold on! Try remembering Hiyoko's butt. Her kimono was all messed up!
Oh.
Crap!
Hold on! Try remembering Hiyoko's body. Her kimono was all messed. There's only one reason her kimono would be that messed up. She fought the killer!
Allow me to cut through those words!
There we go.
The reason Hiyoko's kimono was messed up was because she wasn't able to properly wear it.
Wear her kimono?
Yeah, it's also the reason why she decided to go out on her own.
Hiyoko seemed to be really struggling with wearing her kimono. I believe that was one of the reasons she locked herself in her room. That is why I informed her. I told her that there was a full-length mirror at the music venue, and I suggested that she use it.
That big.
Then, the reason her kimono was messed up wasn't because she fought the killer.
Yeah, she went to the venue on her own just to fix her messed up kimono.
I get it. I lost. Boil me, burn me, take off my clothes. Do whatever you want to me.
Hajime, Now's your chance. Make her admit defeat. Or better yet, make her do a little something.
Then, the killer probably couldn't have assumed that Hiyoko would go to the music venue.
Right.
Though that may not apply to Sonia, since she provided Hiyoko with that information.
Though I knew she would go there, there is no way I could have predicted when she would arrive.
Don't go doubting Miss Sonia, you cretin. I'll put you and your hamsters 6 feet under.
Kazuichi, it seems you have quite the fashion sense. Do you want me to incinerate your clothes? Perhaps I could do that while you're wearing them.
Gundam, please stop! For his sake!
Huh? What do you mean, for my sake?
Of course! I've already overlooked no less than 10 opportunities to kill you.
Even if the killer couldn't predict it, why did Hiyoko get killed in the music venue?
The only thing I can think of is, it was an unfortunate coincidence.
Coincidence?
When she went to the venue by herself, she was probably just unlucky and walked in on the crime scene.
She was killed so there wouldn't be any loose ends?
It probably happened when the killer was preparing to kill Ibuki. The killer most likely had already placed the hemp bag over her head. And without hesitation,
killed Hiyoko.
Because the killer used that coincidence for their crime, it made this case even trickier.
That's the reason they imitated the movie to falsify the murder sequence.
Makes sense.
Which means that low-down scoundrel didn't plan on committing imitation murders at first.
Then what was the killer actually planning to do? They've been cunning this far. There's no way they'd kill Ibuki without a plan. Do you have any ideas?
Damn, you don't know the most important part.
Killer's planned from the beginning. For sure, we're very, very close.
Hey, Nagito, any ideas?
Hey, how long are you gonna stay?
Oh, am I allowed to speak?
No.
I'm so happy I'm getting goosebumps. Everyone actually needs help from scum like me.
So what do you think?
I was thinking about it while I had my mouth shut. But now I'm finally able to come to a conclusion.
And that
Ibuki
is...
definitely didn't commit suicide.
obviously.
What are you talking about?
I thought there might be a possibility that she faked her death and tampered with the crime scene. But now I remember. There was blood on Ibuki's slippers.
Yeah, we pointed that out.
So if she faked her death and walked around the music venue tampering with the crime scene, there'd be bloody footprints left in various places throughout the venue. So that's why I think there's no way she faked her death. There's no...
You know, we already finished talking about that a while ago.
Really? That's annoying. I guess I should just awkwardly laugh about it then.
Are you freaking kidding me? There's no limit to how useless you can be.
Yeah. No, wait a minute. If Ibuki had blood on her feet, there'd be footprints all over the place if she was kept walking around.
Strange. It's very strange.
This is strange? What's strange?
Let's see. It's not something we finished talking about. These footprints. There's still an important clue too. Was that we completely overlooked. Just as Nagito said, if she had blood on her feet, she would have left footprints. Why? Why weren't there any footprints?
I can prove it with this! If Ibuki used the stepladder to hang herself, it's strange that there weren't any footprints on it.
Huh? There weren't?
Yeah, that stepladder was completely clean. No footprints or bloodstains at all.
Did you notice such a small detail? How amazing! This is truly the talent of a chosen ultimate!
What are you talking about? We're obviously new to this, that's why we brought it up, but let's see if that topic. There's definitely some exception and
But didn't you say you saw that video of
wasn't
Ibuki
Ibuki.
climbing stepladder? Then I think there's no doubt that she really did climb it.
Unless there was something funny about that video.
I see. So there was some kind of trickery in that
But that's something only Hajime would know, since he's the only...
Just as I thought, it comes down to that. Mystery surrounding this incident is contained in that video. Whether or not we can reach the hidden truth. It's all up to
Hajime, I leave it in your hands.
As long as I leave this to you, I won't tell you to do your best, but oh well. You should get started already.
Yeah, I'll definitely try.
Damn it! Damn it! Here!
There we go.
That's right, I remember now. There was definitely something strange about that video.
Can you explain it to us?
What's strange is that stepladder I mentioned earlier. It's true that the steps of that stepladder weren't dirty, but on one side,
Blood.
there was a bloodstain, right on the left side. However, that contradicts the video I saw at the hospital.
No blood.
There weren't any bloodstains on the stepladder in the video. It was completely clean.
That is truly strange. If the video showed the moment of Ibuki's death, then Hiyoko should have already been dead by that point.
Right.
Even so, the fact is the stepladder had blood on it at the actual crime scene. The stepladder in the video was completely bloodless.
And there's no way the video was recorded in advance. If that's the case, the only thing I can think of is...
It's possible those two stepladders were completely different.
Wait, are you saying there were two stepladders?
But where would you find another stepladder? There was only one stepladder in the music video.
Then one of the stepladders was somewhere other than the music venue.
You're suggesting that the stepladder in the video... That's amazing, Chiaki! All that gaming has given you incredible deduction skills. Is it okay to say that?
Students are different. But things
Besides the stepladder, the filming location must have been different too.
What do you mean?
I mean, the video I saw was not filmed at the music venue. It was filmed somewhere else.
But the hospital monitor's supposed to display footage captured by the music venue camera, you know?
Then, there's a possibility that the killer also tampered with the surveillance camera unit.
This is getting ridiculous. Nope. Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. He's looking something. Oh, dang it.
We will never give up!
Okay, let me try this again. Keep it so steady. Okay. Let's do this again, shall we? Danny. Yeah, about that. There's no good at Sonic games in this type of area. Damn it. They swapped it around. Go. Okay. That was stupid of me. Because it was broken. Dang it. Nope, the monitor for that one was broken. Come on. Okay.
It's all coming together.
That's better. My bed.
That's it. The killer just brought the kid with it. They made me think it was a live feed from the vineyard, and it was
Then only the monitor was left in the music then?
Yes, at least when I first discovered Ibuki's body. But when Hyoko's body appeared, the killer probably put the camera back too.
That means you should have realized that from the start.
And he did discover the body. I doubt he's a...
Well, that's true, but in order to hide that the camera was missing, the killer did it. I see! The killer smashed the monitor to pieces, destroying it. As long as it was in pieces, you wouldn't be able to tell if the camera was actually there or not. My attention was so focused on the body that even I couldn't have noticed something like that.
And the moment Hajime left the music venue, the killer put back the camera they took.
And they destroyed it and left that in pieces as well.
It's easy to say it was filmed somewhere else, but the surveillance camera's connection...
Despite Kazuichi's desperate repair efforts, it seems it could not transmit from the...
The fact that it was able to connect between the hospital and the music venue is amazing enough.
Oh shit. That was obvious.
Possible that it was filmed at the hospital's conference room.
Huh? Conference room?
But the hospital and the music venue look completely different.
That's exactly why the killer did something to make those two places resemble each other.
There's no way the conference room and the music venue look the same.
Which place resembled the other? Did the conference room look like the music venue? Or did the music venue look like the conference room?
That must be it! What the killer did was make the music venue the crime scene. They did that by using the black curtain hanging at the...
From what I remember, there used to be a real... It somehow became a plain black curtain that didn't seem to be the right size.
That's right! It's so half-assed, just like Monami.
Oh yeah? Well, your face looks stupid.
Great comeback.
That curtain was hung so the music venue would look like a conference room?
In actuality, even though the curtain in the conference room doesn't stand out, it is a black light blocking curtain that's long enough to reach the floor.
I see. The conference room. The same color as the music. So the killer chose the conference room because...
Matching floors, matching curtains. I guess it makes sense you'd mistake the two.
But that's not all. There should be something else the killer did to tamper with the evidence. Probably.
I can prove it with this! You're referring to the candle in the music video, right? In the video I saw, a candle was used for lighting. If you think about it, it's pretty strange. The music venue has good lighting, so there's no reason to even use candlelight.
But wouldn't they have done it to make it feel creepier?
That might have been another reason, but... The main reason was... The lighting in the conference room and the music venue are so different. That's why the killer used a candle.
Which means... Are you saying the candle in the music venue wasn't actually used?
That candle was likely placed there just to make me think it was the same candle that was used in the video.
With candlelight, you can't see things in that much detail. Maybe they were going for that effect. With that cheap-ass camera, it won't capture much in a dark area.
As long as this all matches up, it should be no problem. The video I saw wasn't filmed at the music venue.
If I'd found proof that evidence in the conference room was altered, we would have reached an answer sooner. But it appears the killer already covered that up.
Yep.
So I didn't find it.
But there's no mistake. That's the only place where
The motel would have been too far, and the interior design of the movie theater... There's two distinct...
But this must be a surprising... You never suspected that the video you saw in the hospital...
The incident isn't happening at the scene of a crime.
If Ibuki's hanging video was filmed at the hospital's conference room, then was Ibuki killed at the conference room too?
No, that's not right after Hajime saw...
I see! The person wearing the hint bag in that video wasn't Ibuki. It was... the killer pretending to be Ibuki. The killer put on a hospital gown, wore a hint bag on their head, and was only pretending to be...
By that time, the real Ibuki...
The actual time of death must have been earlier. Probably...
If they took Ibuki from the music venue to the hospital to kill her, there's no way it happened during the day.
But why did the killer go to the trouble of...
The reason the killer made a fake video. There's only one possibility I can think of. Then naturally, the killer's identity would...
You thief! Are you saying...
This is sad. It's not.
You're the only one!
He's the only one capable.
You're the killer, aren't you?
What are you talking about?
Like I said, aren't you the killer who murdered Ibuki and Hyoko?
Killer? Huh? I'm the killer? What is this?
Hey, don't you think that's kinda impossible? A chick like her is the killer? She couldn't even kill a fly. In fact, the fly would probably kill her first.
No.
She's right! A clumsy slowpoke like me killing someone? That's completely out of the question!
But thanks to that video, we're the only ones who have the advantage of an alibi.
An alibi?
Now that you mention it, you guys brought that up earlier.
It's just a coincidence!
But you're the only one who could have filmed that video in the hospital conference room. Is that also a coincidence? At that time, you said you were going to the on-call room. That's when you put on a hospital gown that you prepared in advance, put the bag on your head, and began filming.
Yep.
By doing that, you made up a video that showed Ibuki trying to hang herself at the music video. And showed that to me. Furthermore, if someone wants to go to the conference room from outside, they have to pass through.
So it's impossible that someone who wasn't already in the hospital went to the conference room to film.
Yep.
Not only that, the others in the hospital, Kane and I.
So that must mean...
Please, wait a second! What are you saying? I'm the killer? That's impossible! There's no way I could kill someone!
It's not literally impossible.
Just shows she can't even do that.
Hey, you sure this...
Wrong! It's totally wrong! It's not what you think!
Just like Akane said, it is really hard to tie it all together. I mean...
I agree. It is truly difficult to believe someone could be...
That slow-witted remark is not necessary.
It's fine. I've been like this for a long time. In a tournament for social punching bags, I'd easily win first place with my self-presentation. Even I can't deny that. How many times do I have to tell you? It's impossible.
What do you say, Hajime?
Do you still believe?
Do you hate me that much, Hajime?
Yep.
Hey, Hajime!
Everyone's ganging up on me. Tricks aside, logic aside, is she really capable of doing something like this? Could it be I'm the one making the mistake? No, in fact, it'd be so much easier if I was wrong. If I have this much doubt about someone I spend so much time with.
Can you hold on a minute?
What do you want now?
Well, I know I'm being intrusive and all. I missed all of the critical parts, and I doubt I have anything worth saying at an important time like this.
What are you saying?
But still, there's definitely no way I can overlook the killer this time. I thought it was suspicious all along, from the very beginning. Investigating with the suspect in mind creates a different result than investigating with no leads.
Hey, what are you trying to say?
Well, thanks to that, I was able to discover... Are you serious? I've been so focused on everybody else this trial.
You better not have kept quiet on purpose. This is...
Actually, please don't say such controversial statements.
That's true, it is a game.
Well, what do you know, Nagito?
Well, it's nothing big, really. Only a small...
Hey, that's a huge deal!
A decisive clue.
Let's take a look, shall we? Regarding the rope Ibuki was dangling from, this rope was supplied by the supermarket, right? There weren't any...
Again with the supermarket? That place is a hotspot for criminal goods.
Well, this is
If
supermarket.
they got it at the supermarket, that means it was brand new, right?
What's wrong with that?
I want you to take a close look at this rope. And keep in mind that it's brand new. Near the middle of the rope, it's frayed, as if it was rubbed strongly. But why is it like this? The loopy Buki used to hang herself is on one end of the rope, and the part of the rope that hung from the baton lighting is on the other end.
Hey, you're taking too long. What's wrong with
It means, well, from what I can infer, I think the rope was used like this. The killer wrapped the rope around Ibuki's neck, pulled both ends at full strength, and strangled her.
That makes sense.
The center of the rope is frayed because that's the part they used to strangle Ibuki.
Oh my god. I've been listening to you for a while, and it sounds like you knew about this rope clue all along. What exactly did you say to me during the investigation?
So this rope doesn't have much of a clue. You don't know this world looks safe or not.
Not everyone cooperates at a class trial. Those who lie and conceal the truth, just like this case's killer. I was just copying them a little bit.
More importantly, what was all that about the rope? The killer strangled Ibuki. And then?
And then, I finished speaking.
How is that a decisive clue?
Huh? You didn't notice it? I thought
I could chose words into this decisive clue. Is that really true?
Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
Though hanging and strangling seem similar, they're very different. The scars they leave would look different too. Scars? You mean the rope burn, right?
But we believed it was from a hanging. Why would that be?
Did we fall for someone's lie?
Ibuki didn't die from... She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
Though hanging and strangling seem similar, they're very... The scars they leave would look different too. Scars? You mean the rope burn, right?
But we believed it was from a hang. Why would that be?
Did we fall for someone's lie?
The body at the crime scene was hanged, you know. Obviously, we'd assume it was a hanging.
The Monokuma file complicates this too. It never specified hanging or strangulation.
Whoever misunderstood is to blame!
Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
Though hanging and strangling seem similar, the scars they leave would look different too. Scars? You mean the rope burn, right?
But we believed it was from a... Why would that be?
Did we fall for someone's lie?
The body at the crime scene was hanged, you know.
Ibuki didn't die from hanging. She was strangled to death.
That's basically the same thing.
Though hanging and strangling seem similar, the scars they leave would look different too. Scars? You mean the rope?
But we believed it was from a hang... Why would that be?
Did we fall for someone's lie?
That must be it! So that's what happened. We've been falling for the killer's lie this whole time.
There's something I want to ask you. It's not that Ibuki's cause of death was being hanged by this rope, right? Yes. She had no other injuries. It was like that's being herself. See, I see. So herself.
You said Ibuki hanged herself, but that was a complete...
That is... well...
You told us the wrong cause of death.
You should have been able to tell the difference between hanging and strangling just by looking. You, Mikara, the ultimate nurse.
Please wait! First of all, I'm not a coroner, so I don't have the medical
right. And you have been...
But even a drunk medical student can notice the difference between a hanging and strangulation.
I'm not taking her side or anything, but being clumsy and unskilled in this area could lead to a mistake.
He's totally right. I'm such a clumsy...
Mikan nursed me till I got better. There's no...
Don't you think her devotion to nursing is what helped her draw Ibuki?
Huh?
Hello, person.
And if not, her symptoms were still very serious and caused her to believe what anybody told her.
Right.
It wouldn't surprise me if she willingly followed Mikan because she was nursing her.
Makes sense.
So Mikan volunteered to nurse us? Because she was planning to do this all along?
No.
That's a little... Aren't you like the thief who suspects everyone else of being thieves?
If you're like a dumbass who expects everyone else to be dumbasses.
I'm not a criminal. Mikan is. I mean...
You got it all wrong. Please forgive me.
I'm sorry. But there's no way I just can't forgive this crime at all.
Forgiveness or not, we still have not decided if...
I see. Well, if that's the choice everyone makes... But is that really okay?
You're friggin' annoying! If you keep...
I'm really not the killer. There's no way. I'm capable of...
Is that really true?
Stop it already!
I can't stop. I don't want to do this either. Of course I don't want to do this. But I need to do this.
You doubt your friends?
That's not it. I suspect them because I want to believe them.
What the hell does that mean?
I don't think belief and doubt are necessarily opposites.
Exactly.
Huh?
I do doubt her, but I still want to believe her. Belief lies at the heart of that conflict. 'Cause if there's no room for doubt, then there's no reason to believe, is there?
That's very true.
Don't say deep stuff. I don't really get it.
If you want to believe in someone, you need to overcome doubt first. Belief without doubt is simply a lie.
Fine. Do whatever you want.
Huh? Is that all you can say?
Uh-oh.
So in the end, you're all just a bunch of bullies, huh? Justifying your actions with fancy words. Making excuses for why it's not really your fault. Everyone always treats me like that. Always. It's all her fault. She's the one with the problem. I'm done with that. You hear me? I'm done.
She's sad.
Hey, Mikan.
It's not fair. It's not fair. Why won't you forgive me? If you did something, you'd forgive yourself right away! What did I do? Why won't anybody forgive me?
Is acting like this your strategy now? Well, this is annoying. Plus, to be honest, I've run out of ideas. How can we get you to admit it?
If we don't have any clues, why don't we... I'm the same as Hajime. But still, the truth is one of us murdered. That's why. We gotta stick with this until the very end. Hey, Mikan, can I ask you one last thing? If you're not the killer, then who fabricated...
Like I said...
Can you prove it?
Wait! Do you have any proof that I'm the one who fabricated that video? That's right! Show me your proof! Because you're just assuming the video, treating me like a killer based on an assumption. Just because that's totally crazy! Why does everybody always hate me?
Is this broad really okay? She's emotionally unstable.
I'm not the killer!
It seems she finally... But the only one who can find a hole in her... So, I'm going...
Why did you get to decide? Please! I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that video.
Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different body types.
Is that really your proof? You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type! So please forgive me already!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else who could have filmed that video.
Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she wore?
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other than you who could have filmed that video.
Do you have any? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious?
We can't think of anybody who could have filmed that.
Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan
Is that really your... You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle? Just from that dim candlelight?
There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type! So please forgive me already!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other who could have filmed that video.
Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have...
Is that really your... You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle?
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else other than you. Who could have filmed that?
Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had on?
Ibuki and Mikan...
Is that really your... You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera? And just from that dim candlelight?
There's no way you'd be able to make out her body type, so please forgive me already!
Hajime, pay close attention and listen well. You're the only one who can point out the killer's mistake.
I'm not the killer!
We can't think of anybody else who could have filmed it.
Do you have any proof? Is the hemp bag on her head the proof? Is the hospital gown she was wearing suspicious? Or could it be the hospital slippers she had?
Ibuki and Mikan clearly have different...
Is that really your... You could tell her body type under the hospital gown? Just from that video? Just from that camera angle?
I'll shoot through that contradiction. Mikan, you've committed a major mistake.
Mistake?
As I said before many times.
What's wrong with that?
But I never said anything about the camera angle. So how can you say anything about the camera angle as if you saw that video yourself?
The only reason Mikan knew the camera angle is because you're the person who actually filmed.
This is your just reward. The more desperately you lied, didn't you?
Are you serious? Is it true, Mikan? Did you kill Hiyoko and Ibuki?
Forgive me!
I was wrong. No, that's not it at all.
That's not it?
I mean, it's impossible.
Impossible.
You know that hemp bag Ibuki was wearing when she died? Try remembering the tote bag instead. Ding! I totally remember now.
What the heck's wrong with her? She's getting weirder by the minute.
That tote bag. Isn't it the same one that girl was wearing in the video?
How do you know so much about that video?
Who cares about that? More importantly, did you know that bag is a limited item that was... Hajime saw it too, didn't you? You remember the Usami decal on it, right? Whoopsie! Don't worry about it. I remember even if you don't. Ta-da! There's no mistake. That tote bag. So don't you think it's impossible? Using one tote bag in both the conference room and the... It's blatantly obvious that that's impossible. That's why that video isn't fabricated. And
so you'll forgive me, right?
Taking your stubbornness this far.
Then you're gonna forgive me? I won't stop.
Will you forgive me?
Let's do this. Hank talk action.
You still haven't forgiven me?
I'll do anything you want.
Please, draw on me.
Do you understand?
Why only me? Please, draw on me.
Can you forgive me already?
Forgive me! Forgive me! Please, draw on me!
Do you understand? Can you forgive me already?
I'll do anything you want.
Can you forgive me already?
I'll do anything you want. You're done for! Forgive me! Forgive me!
There's only one bag. It's impossible to use it in two places at the same time.
This is the end! Monokuma mentioned this earlier.
You buy one bag, you get another one free. It's a common practice to bake customers with the bonus prize.
Whoever bought that bag should have received another one as a bonus prize. Which means it's not impossible to use that. So please, just stop making desperate excuses.
Why? Why can't...
It seems her desperate struggles.
Why does everybody always hate me? You should just forgive me already!
Nico, it's already over. After I go over your crime from the beginning and show that please just admit it already. In the end, at least let me believe in you.
Closing argument. Begin.
Here's everything that happened in this
That's
case.
quick.
The key to this incident is the surveillance camera video that only I saw. That's why I'm going to start with that to unravel the knots of this crime. When I went to the hospital with Mikon this morning, I noticed a specific thing in the lobby. The incoming signal light on the surveillance monitor was blinking ahead of the schedule. When I switched on the monitor, what appeared on a person wearing a hospital gown and a bag on their head about to hang themselves right at that moment. That surveillance camera unit was designed for two-way communication with the hospital, and that's why I thought the signal originated from the music video. So I immediately headed over there. But that was the killer's trap. In truth, that video was recorded the killer brought the music venue camera the night before and made their preparations in advance. And then, they filmed that video in the hospital conference room. By doing so, they tried to make me think the incident was happening in real time, when in fact, the crime had already been committed by then. The person in the footage wearing the bag was actually the killer acting as a fake. I didn't know that, so I went to the music venue and found the hanged body wearing a bag on its head. Seeing the body before me, I panicked and rushed out of there to get the rest of you guys. But that was also part of the killer's trap. After cleaning the conference room, the killer was likely watching the music venue from outside. And, as if they were switching places with me, they went in and began working on their last trick. First, the killer peeled off the wallpaper covering one of the stage pillars. When I first arrived and saw the hanged body, I didn't notice anything strange. I didn't expect it to be slightly larger from the wallpaper. Next, the killer destroyed the surveillance camera that was used in the conference room. After destroying it, they mixed it with what was left of it. The surveillance camera the killer used was originally brought from the music video. When they brought it, they made sure to destroy its monitor beforehand. They wanted to hide the fact that the camera wasn't at the crime scene. In the end, the killer transformed the crime scene into a closed room. They broke one of the drumsticks from the storage room and placed it near the music venue's entrance. However, they did this to mislead us into believing that the music venue was locked from the inside. In actuality, the reason the music venue became a closed room was because of the glue. The killer sealed the door with glue and intentionally created a closed room that could be forced open. With that, the killer They helped us force open the music venue door, despite the fact that they personally sealed it. They made us discover not just Ibuki's body, but Hyoko's suddenly present body as well. At the time, they pretended to be surprised, but inside, they were probably relieved that their plan worked out. Isn't that right, Mikan? This crime was orchestrated by you, wasn't it?
Whoa! Now she's laughing?
It's been such a long time. This feeling, I know it well. Like the floor is collapsing, like the sky is falling down upon you. This feeling of despair!
Mikan, you... What has happened to you?
She became what she was.
Whoa there! Before that, a moment of your time.
What now? That's awkward. Oh.
It seems your arguments have reached a conclusion, so let's proceed to our Now then, please pull the lever in front of you and cast your vote. Who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the... Let's...
If he doesn't, she would tell us the truth. So she remembered. She became who she was because of Joe. Ding 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 ding. Trial and all rise.
Well now.
Now then, though it may be obvious at this point.
Correct.
You got it right once again. That's 3 in a row. That's right. The true identity of the horrifying blackened who killed the 2 girls was Mikan and Tsumi.
Damn it.
Can't be shitting me. Are you saying Mikan, the one who nursed us back to health, was the one who killed them?
I won't forgive you.
Don't joke around with me, Mikan. You lied to us all along. Were you planning to kill them from the start while you were nursing them?
Hey!
Don't just say something. This is going nowhere.
What's going on?
This kid.
Hey!
This is nothing like pickup. This actually got mental.
That's obvious.
Nothing we can do. It's no longer the same person. It's no longer the Nikon Sonic you know.
Hey.
Sonic. Based on my predictions, she has part 2. Probably had the despair disease, which was the motive of this case.
What?
Mikan 2, you say?
I
know because I was looking at Mikan for so long. She was the one taking care of me after all. My consciousness kept drifting, even so when I caught a glimpse of her. Her expression was full of despair. Despair so devoid of hope that not even a single fragment of it remained. Hold on, did you say Mikan also had the despair disease? That means she was...
What?
Hajime, has something crossed your mind? My body's heavy. That's right, Mikan felt really hot at the time. Now that I think about it, that must have been a high fever, just like what Ibuki and Mikan
It cannot be!
Perhaps...
See? Jeez.
Which means the Nikon standing right before us is no longer the ultimate nurse. She's a completely different person now that she's infected by the disease.
Isn't that right?
She's a person who deserves to be called the ultimate despair. Ultimate despair. That's the only reason why I cannot forgive this. I'm killing someone for the sake of despair instead for the sake of hope.
Possible.
There's no way I can forgive that.
Oh?
For the sake of despair. That's completely wrong.
Huh?
Wrong? Wrong. What's wrong?
What I did was for the sake of my beloved.
You boy.
Huh? Huh?
What are you talking about? If only they were still alive, they'd be so happy. I know.
My beloved was the only one. That's right. The only one who never hated me. They forgave my existence. They forgave me and accepted me. They gave me value. They loved me. I loved them with all my heart, and they returned it in full. This is my reciprocation.
Oh boy. I understand that I've done something unforgivable. But you know, transcend all that is truly
It's love.
what love is about.
Hey.
I don't understand what you're saying. I don't understand. It's because you don't have anyone to love. It's because you're also someone who isn't accepted by anyone. Oh, pity. I feel sorry for you.
Well,
And if I say this, I'm sure nobody here would understand, but love is a wonderful thing. This feeling of freedom where you're no longer care about anything. My beloved and I are the only ones within that veil. I'm looking out through it. It's fine. As long as I'm on the inside, no matter how much they teach me, blessed with water, kick me.
how amazing.
Nothing matters. I could just die. That's how little it matters. Who cares about hope or despair? It's love. Only love.
Could it be?
Akito, is this really the despair disease you're talking about?
This is...
It seems that it was wrong. Not only was she affected by despair. You're half right. It's right to say that this is thanks to that disease. Because thanks to the disease, I was able to remember my beloved. Remember? Apparently that's what my symptom was. A wonderful symptom. Which means I had the remembering disease.
But...
If that means you remembered something and ended up like this.
such despair.
You're thinking you were like this from the start. Like this before you came to the island. You get so angry. Well, first of all, the reason I became like this wasn't my fault. It was all your fault, you know? Because it's not like I'm entirely responsible for turning out like this. I'm the person I am today because of so many human relationships. So, it's everybody's fault that I turned out like this, you see? Even so, the parent me was most strongly influenced by my beloved's existence. It was also my beloved who created me, the me that everyone can't forgive. But my beloved still forgives me and still accepts me. That's the key difference between all of you and my
Don't fuck with me!
Like I said, who the fuck are you talking about? You think this is Nikon? She's the real Nikon? There's no way I can believe that. There's no way the person you are right now is the real Nikon. Oh, you still doubt me? Then to prove I remember, I'll tell you something nice. It's about the welfare in your organization.
You serious?
Oh no, I just remembered, that's all. I knew about it all along. That horrifying organization known as World Ender. It's also the organization known as Future Foundation. Future Foundation. Future... That's right, it's a foundation for the store. That's right. It's a Japanese word for future. Hey, just what is Future Foundation? What are they planning? I think we suggest the organization is the World Ender. Future Foundation is trying to end our world. They're simply trying to claim the world for themselves.
This is bad.
Yeah, this isn't a comic book, you know. As part of their plan to end the world, the Future Foundation goes to this island. Isn't that right, Monami? They're both members of this crazy organization, aren't they? Oh yeah, they are members.
I am Monokuma!
I guess this is entirely my own.
Hey,
Oh gosh. Hey, Nikon, you really do remember. You know I know, right? You know the trigger and your potatoes and your hiding amongst us. Of course, I know that. Let's see. Future Foundation IP that's having money wallet.
Oh?
Well, no one really cares about that kind of thing.
Of course not!
Ah, hell no. You'll find out eventually. So there's no need to be so impatient. Probably when the countdown ends. Countdown? Do you even know about that?
Oh?
I don't know anything. Huh? I have a feeling that's what it is. But who cares about that, you know? I'm giving you so much love. From the bottom of my heart, I just don't care about anyone or anything.
That is...
Man, is this really you? I won't believe it. There's no way I can believe you were all like this all along. If that's true, then who's the person you've been spending time with up to now? The past. Past. That person didn't exist in the beginning. It's just my past self who lost her school memories. Just to say that to a friend.
Oh?
That doesn't make me happy at all. It just fills me with despair. I just accepted my past self, and now my present self. That's...
Well?
Well, that applies to you all as well. Memories of people, memories of events, whatever the memory is. Losing memories are...
Do you understand?
Like losing your personal identity. Memory is the most important component of building a person, don't you think? Even though memories are just shares of the past.
Hey.
I don't know what you're trying to say, but in the end, it always leads back to that story. A story about our school lives.
Hey, hey!
So that's... Oh, it was true all along. Our memories were taken away.
Damn it!
Listen, you want to be such a nice much. Why don't you just try to take your sweet time and remember your own place? Please.
Oh?
Oh, Monokuma. Is it alright for you to start now?
Yes, indeed!
Punishment time? Hello, person. You're just in time for execution. Nikon, why doesn't it have to end like this? This is too pointless. This is too much.
Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment.
So it's over. It's really... Now I can go to my beloved, who always forgives me. I can finally see them. Please forgive me, the one who's going to die with the hope of finally seeing you.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
I love the punishments. The execution song. It's just so upbeat and crazy. That's a giant needle. Bye-bye, ouchies. That was quick. Kinda missed that one. Oh well. It's finished. Is it really finished? The killer who killed Ibuki and Yoda and Hiyoko Saionji was Mikan Sumiki. And she was been executed. That was really short. She apparently committed her own crime because she was afflicted by the despair disease. So what? What's finished? Nobody wanted it to end like this.
Let me ask.
Who was that Mikan from earlier? Is that her true form, or is that itself a symptom of the despair disease?
Damn it!
It doesn't matter either way. She ended up like that just from remembering. But all along, Mikan was never worth being a symbol of hope.
But...
Even if her words were influenced by the despair disease, if the disease turned her into that, she lost herself to a simple disease. She definitely isn't worthy of being a symbol of hope.
Isn't that right?
So let's just move on. Come on, let's take all this despair and change it to hope.
Please wait!
But that's impossible. I mean, I thought we were friends this whole time, even so. Like a house of cards collapsing in on an instant. In the end, our friend who thought we ended up showing us a completely different side of herself. Then she vanished from our sight, leaving behind only her malice. Now there's no way we can just move on and try to make a clear cut. It's clearly possible.
Damn it!
Wrong!
Too bad. That's not the case. Mikan wasn't the traitor.
Come on!
Traitor's still alive. As proof, see how fine Monami looks right now. I'm not fine at all. But if the traitor died, you wouldn't be this calm, right? You're both pawns of the Future Foundation, so you guys are like two big birds as one.
You fiend.
Phew!
Who cares about who I am? More important, I'm tired. The drama just kept going and going. I didn't even have time to eat my black bean right eye during the break.
Hey!
Your right eye's made out of black beans?
Hey!
Wait, now's not the time to focus on that. What are you trying to say?
Hey,
You know, it's sad said that life has its up and downs. It's fun because downs come from after ups, but if life is full of downs, wouldn't that get boring? So in order to help you guys feel better, I've prepared a special event. Head over to the first silent speech, an old friend will be waiting.
Huh?
Nekamaru?
Hey!
I'm safe. How should I say this? I knew it. I knew that crazy bastard would come back to us in one piece. Fine.
Right?
Uh-oh. Unbelievable.
Hey!
No way! What's this?
That's not good. We're in the world this year.
Hey! Listen!
Hey, damn it!
What happened? Were y'all looking for me?
Could it be?
With the high hopes in our hearts, we turned towards the direction of the voice. We saw something truly unbelievable.
Huh? What the?
Yo! I've kept you waiting. Hey, what's going on? Perhaps you don't remember my face since we haven't seen. That's pretty sad, you know? That's too much!
Who are you?
Huh? You too? What's going on? If you're messing with me, I'll stop doing it to you.
Nekomaru? Haven't you noticed?
What do you mean, noticed? Oh, you mean this body? The name's Nekomaru Nidai! I've been reborn in the rivers of hell!
Let's get the Teapot Robot Show.
Danganronpa.
Okay, that will be the end of this stream. Crazy.